Good evening. With the Ghana Learning Channel's news in capsule for Monday, January 24, 2022, I am Kingsley Bryan. Here are some of the top stories we're covering this evening. We'll tell you that Budget 2022 to be read on Wednesday. The budget will be historic and transformational, says Dr. Ashley Singh. Also, FAO-WHO Interception Workshop begins. The one-week event is to assess Ghana's national food control system. And then, Wakenham, Leg 1, students receive buses to greatly relieve transportation costs for students living on the islands. And in news from the region, we'll tell you that the U.S. Army General visits Jamaica. The meetings were focused on the U.S. and Jamaica's bilateral ties. And on the international scene, Pakistan gets first female Supreme Court judge. Now she's the only female among 16 men at the nation's top court. And now for the news in detail. Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, has expressed confidence in this year's National Fiscal Plan, not just describing it as historic, but also transformational. Sharing insight into the budget, Minister Singh said it intends to step up the pace with respect to rolling out the party's or government's agenda for transformation. And as such, he pointed out, citizens can expect the launch of a slew of major initiatives this year. Open quote, with respect to the implementation of the transformational agenda to modernize the face of our country with respect to things like physical infrastructure, a lot of that is going to be happening in 2022. The theme of transformation and modernization of Guyana is very deeply and heavily embedded in Budget 2022. It is very transformational in that regard, the senior minister outlined, end of quote. One strong element of Budget 2022, Dr. Singh highlighted, will be about creating opportunities for both Guyanese businesses and nationals, as he linked this to the enactment of the local content legislation. A third theme of this year's budget is improving people's lives, according to the minister. Importantly, Budget 2022 will be financed partly by Ghana's oil revenues. This will be Ghana's first withdrawal from the Natural Resources Fund since the country started collecting oil revenues in early 2020. During an interview on NCN last week, Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo related that such a move is aimed at seeing Ghana borrows less. Currently, the fund holds $607 million US. While the withdrawal rule restricts withdrawals from the fund to deposits made in the previous fiscal year, the first schedule of the Natural Resources Fund Act 2021 allows an exception in the first year, giving the government the latitude to withdraw the total balance in the fund at once. The Ministry of Finance has said that such a withdrawal is pertinent to address Guyana's pressing development needs. Budget 2022 will be read on Wednesday, January 26. And we'll tell you now that the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, and the World Health Organization, WHO, will host a one-week Inception workshop beginning Monday, January 24, 2022. The national event, titled Assessment of Ghana's National Food Control System, using the FAO-WHO Food Control System Assessment Tool, will conclude on Friday, January 28, 2022. Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, and Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, are expected to deliver remarks at the opening ceremony. The WHO said National Food Control System plays a pivotal role in protecting the health of consumers and ensuring fair practices in food trade. Demonstrating good performance of the system gives an opportunity to member states for new markets, to improve trading relationships, and to build stakeholder confidence domestically. In 2019, FAO and WHO jointly developed a comprehensive tool to assist member states in assessing the effectiveness of national food control system. The tool comprises 25 system competencies under 4 dimensions. During the workshop, the assessment process will be supported by FAO's technical assistance. However, it fully relies on the national authorities committing to provide information in a second stage following the workshop. Among other things, they will need to provide information, indicators, and sources of evidence for about 160 assessment criteria. Due to the ongoing pandemic and the current traveling restrictions, the 5-day event will be facilitated via Zoom. And we'll tell you now that the students of Wakanam and Laguan Islands Region 3 will now be able to travel to school in comfort, and their parents will be relieved of transportation costs following the handing over of school buses valued close to $10 million on Saturday. This is the first time that these communities have benefited from such a boost in the education sector. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Dharamlal, said the presentation of the vehicles is a manifestation of the government's commitment to the people to ensure equitable access to education is provided to all. As such, the minister said that the regional administration will partner with the relevant officials to provide fuel, as well as the placement and salary of the drivers for the buses. However, he hopes that responsible adults are selected to carry out this duty, whilst prioritizing those less fortunate to attend school. He also urged the students and teachers to care for the buses to ensure that others like themselves can benefit from them. The minister also handed over 2 brush cutters to both of the island's beautifications projects. One will be managed by the Wakanam Neighborhood Democratic Council, NDC, and the other by the Laguan Neighborhood Democratic Council. It was noted that both islands are expected to benefit from significant investments aimed at enhancing their agriculture, education, health, as well as road infrastructure via this year's national budget. Region 3 Regional Executive Officer Jagnarine Samwar, Regional Chairman Inshan Ayub, and other government officials were also present during the ceremony. Meanwhile, the residents, including several students, lauded the donation and expressed their gratitude to the administration for the timely intervention. And turn our attention now to the world of sports. After months of preparation, it's now time for Corwin Dianju and Ijaz Cave to show their worth against some of the world's best fighters when the pair step into the octagon at the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, IMMAF, World Championships on January 24. Following Sunday's tournament draw at the Millennium Al Rauda Hotel in Abu Dhabi, Dianju will come up against Ireland's Adam McEnroe in the first round of the men's welterweight 77.1 kg division, while Cave got a bye to the round of 16 in the men's light heavyweight 93 kilograms category. Hosted by the UAE Jiu-Jitsu and MMA Federation with the support of the Abu Dhabi Sports Council, and in partnership with Palm Sports, the senior and junior national tournaments will take place at the Jiu-Jitsu Arena in Zayat Sports City, near UFC Fight Island or the Yas Island. Unlike Cave, Dianju is no stranger to mixed martial arts, having had 5 fire prides to Monday's event, but he admitted that nothing would compare to the World Championships. The well-known judoka spoke profoundly of his eagerness to step into the octagon, but more so launching his international MMA career. Meanwhile, for Cave, while being known for his exploits in the ring as a boxer, he's looking forward to the competition. Cave, a Lance Corporal in the Guyana Police Force, said while having a bye is good, he's remaining focused on the fight ahead. Guyana is making its debut at the IMMAF World Championships, despite the Guyana Mixed Martial Arts Federation being in its infant stage of existence. Fraser is hopeful that it is just the start of an amazing journey for the sport in the land of many waters. And that story was taken and reported by Raul Tony, who is presently in Abu Dhabi. And in news from the region, U.S. Army General Laura Richardson, who made history as the first woman to lead United States Southern Command, or SOUTHCOM, recently completed 3 days of high-level meetings focused on the United States' long-standing bilateral defense ties with Jamaica. Richardson attended the Jamaica Defense Force Change of Command ceremony on Friday, where Rear Admiral Antoinette Wimes Gorman became the first woman to assume duties as Jamaica's Chief of Defense Staff. On Saturday, Rear Admiral Wimes Gorman and General Richardson met at the GDF headquarters to discuss the ever-growing partnership between their organizations, shared security, cooperation interests, and threats and challenges of mutual concern. Richardson also met with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, to discuss security cooperation opportunities in support of cyber engagements, local security, and combating illicit trafficking. The Southcom commander kicked off her trip Thursday at the U.S. Embassy, meeting senior embassy officials, including Charge d'Affaires Lenisa Wahid, to reinforce the U.S. whole-of-government approach to supporting the U.S.-Jamaica security partnership. On the historic visit, Richardson was also joined by U.S. Air Force Major General Sherry McCandles, who also made history in 2021 as the first woman to assume commanding general duties of Washington, D.C. National Guard. The U.S. capital city's National Guard has a state partnership with Jamaica, established more than 2 decades ago. This was General Richardson's first visit to a Caribbean nation as the Southcom commander. Richardson visited Jamaica from January 20 to 22. And that story was extracted and modified from Loop Caribbean News. And on the international scene, Pakistan's first female Supreme Court judge has been sworn in the capital, Islamabad. Aisha Malik, 55, now sits on a bench with 16 other male colleagues in the Muslim-majority country's top court. Lawyers and activists said it was a rare victory after decades of struggle to get representation for women in Pakistan's male-dominated society. Some lawyers and judges opposed Justice Malik's appointment, as she was seen to be less senior than other candidates. Justice Malik, who was educated at the Pakistan College of Law and Harvard University, has served as a High Court judge in the city of Lahore in eastern Pakistan for the last 2 decades. She is seen to have played an important role in challenging patriarchal legal mores in the province. Last year, she outlawed the use of so-called virginity tests during rape examinations of sexual assault victims. The judiciary in Pakistan has been historically conservative and male-dominated. Lawyers and activists have hailed her elevation as a historic appointment. However, Justice Malik's appointment has been criticized by some, and last year, her elevation to the same post was voted down. In the months running up to this year's vote, many lawyers and judges accused Justice Malik of jumping in front of a queue of more senior male candidates who were seen to be more qualified for the post. Justice Malik was the 4th most senior judge in the lower court, from which she has now been elevated. And that story was extracted and modified from the BBC. And that's our news broadcast for Monday, January 24, 2022. Please join us for a rebroadcast tomorrow morning. On behalf of myself and technical team, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned to our regular programming and remember to observe all the necessary precautionary methods to fight off COVID-19. We're all in this together. Have a safe evening.